All right. What's good, y'all? Welcome back. Another week. This one is probably not going to be too long of a video just because mainly I'm going to be focusing on the P&L. And I want to talk about my journaling habits. And I want to talk about going into the foreseeable future. I really just want to stick to journaling way better because I really just haven't been journaling that well. I mean, if I go on here, you can see that I put my position, must be the other one. Yep, I put the position tool on. I mark out the setup. I'll get into like why I took this in a second and all that. But I put the position tool. I'll mark out like what I saw. But I'm not writing anything anymore. I used to write a bunch, tell you exactly why. Or I've been getting in the habit of I'll get on, I'll finish the trade, I'll mark it out, and I'll say terrible trade. I suck at typing, but terrible trade, whatever, and just talk bad. But there's so many trades that I take that I think are terrible. I'll never take this again, this and that, whatever. But it always ends up turning out I never document exactly why I took the trade. What made me take a trade that I know is not a good trade? If I know it's not a good trade, then why did I take it? Despite me knowing that this is not a high probability trade and knowing, like, if you trade, you know that most of the time when you click the button, you already have a feeling. You have that, like, irking feeling that something is wrong. And despite this feeling, why did I still enter the trade and why did I lose still? I want to be completely transparent on these and start writing out like my bias going into the day, what I thought was going to happen, what actually happened, why I took the trade I did, my emotions going in, how my emotions were during the trade. So I want to get a little bit more thorough on my journaling so that in these weekly recaps, I can go over more in depth why I took a trade and what it is. Because even now, I see the positions and stuff and I remember, but I don't fully know exactly all the thoughts that were going through my head or the emotions because you getting in a trade could be as simple as, oh, I'm rushing to work, I need to get to work after this, and I really want to win this money, so I'm just going to take the trade. It could be as simple as that, but I might not remember that by the end of the week. Anyways, y'all seen the title. I blew the accounts this week. On these 2 days, it was really just two separate kind of mental and psychology breaks. It wasn't really too much of the setups. It was just over leveraging and then over trading. So going into next week, one of the biggest things I'm changing is I'm cutting it short, bro. 1% risk, so I'm on 50K, so $500 risk, one trade a day. That's it. If I lose it, I'm off. If I win it, I'm off. That's it. I'm not taking any extra trades. I'm not doing any of this. I don't care if I get stop rated and I just get stopped down and then it goes to my TP. I don't care. I'm taking one trade. That's what I'm promising. I'm taking one trade a day. If I win it, I'm off. If I lose it, I'm off. Done. Because you can kind of even tell here, or I don't have the P&L from my previous months, but if you go back and look at some of my videos, you'll see all of my risk is inconsistent. I'll take a big win this day, and then I'll take a small loss, and then I'll take a big loss, and then I'll take a big win, and then I'll take a small win. So my risking just is not consistent, which is messing with my overall like risk to reward and P&L, and like it's skewing my profits by not risking the same amount every time. But let's just get straight into it. Starting on Monday, it was a break even trade. Let's see if this loads. Perfect. So just to kind of go in overall, we were overall bullish on the day. We reacted straight up, but I was a little bit hesitant to get into buys or just go long just because we are inside of this big 4 hour gap. You can see on the 4 hour time frame we have this huge gap that we're inside, and on the 10 a.m. also closed here, so we closed inside of this 4 hour gap. So I thought it was potential that we could reverse here, but honestly, hindsight 2020, like, look at this big gap, look at this distribution. We could have probably just been looking for higher, but I did a little kind of short to an internal gap just because here we had this unfilled 30-minute right here, and we are also inside of this hourly up here. So while being inside this hourly, we closed the 10 a.m. We closed at 10 a.m. inside of this. So we closed at 10 a.m. inside of this 4 hour gap, where we're inside of a 1 hour gap as we speak. We opened up a 30-minute gap below. So on the lower time frame, you can see that we go into this 1 hour gap over here. Here, I'll draw this. We go into this 1 hour gap over here. We start to reject out of it. We generate some liquidity here and create an SMT at this high. So ES had taken out this high while NASDAQ didn't. Then we created, that's our manipulation. And then after that manipulation, we create a 30-second inversion to the downside here. You see this little gap entry there. And then I just put my break-even point here. We ended up taking out my break-even, stopped me out at break-even right here with this wick, and then delivered right to the TP. I was saying this in my trade recap, but I guess I didn't really have to go here. I really liked this 30-minute unfilled as a draw on liquidity. So it wasn't really a big reason why I had to go break even here, but just to protect my risk, I did. Honestly, I probably should have been looking for a long here, just because out of this 30-minute gap, we reject into a 30-minute gap. We have low resistance all above us. So maybe looking for some sort of inversion or being in longs might have been different. But honestly, I really don't hate this trade at all. I actually like this trade. I think I protected my risk well. So if we were going to deliver straight there, I would have got TP'd instantly. I didn't have to. It ended up playing out regardless. And also, this is a good setup in my opinion. We have, even though we're overall bullish bias, we have this 30-minute gap here. We have the 1 hour above. We have an SMT. So I don't hate this. But I want to stay going forward just more in line with the overall trend. Trading against the trend, I know that I can, and I know that honestly, shorting back to a gap or long against the trend, taking like a counter trend trade to an internal gap is something that I like. But usually I just want to make sure that when I'm taking these, I have more structure like this and I have a true manipulation. Because I'll get caught. I'll show you one later where I end up just pattern trading it. We're just going down and we go without a true manipulation, without a true leg for me to like really base my trade off of. Here we have this SMT where ES sweeps out this high and NASDAQ doesn't, which we have the manipulation here. But, you know, it's easy to get caught pattern trading these internal gaps and just get cooked. Anyways, on to the next one. Is this trade. So on Tuesday, this was honestly a super clean one. It ended up getting break even. I ended up losing 50 on it just because when we came down to this break even, you can see this big wick. We literally punched down, like went down so fast that even though my buy order was like up here, I even put my stop loss up here, like above my entry, just because I didn't want to have the fees take me negative. But I got negative anyway because you can see the arrow here. Like we just came down so fast right here that and I ended up still being $50 in negative, but it doesn't matter. This is essentially break even mechanically. We pretty much just opened up. We did have liquidity lower over here, but we had data highs above. So this was honestly just like a super clean trade for me. We had this 30-minute gap below us. We went down into this 30-minute gap here. Let me kind of center this up. We have this 30-minute gap. We come down, create an SMT with ES in this 30-minute gap, start to react up, and we have a 2 and 3-minute inversion. So 3-minute inversion, enter on this candle, stop at the low, break even at this internal high right here. So we go all the way up. We're one tick away from these data highs, or a few points away from these data highs, and then we just sell off super hard. What should I change? Honestly, literally, there's two things that should have swayed me to take my profits probably here or just take profits earlier in general. Number one, something that I learned and saw some people saying after is that data highs only count for that 1 minute candle. So it's 8:30 news. The next two candles we go up and make these highs. I was always looking like on the 5 minute, oh, these are data highs since it's 8:30. But I learned that it's just this 1 minute candle. So technically, if you want to target data highs, it would be targeting right here. Number two is the SMT. So we had a huge SMT with this high right here. ES never took out this high. So we pushed lower on NASDAQ while ES didn't take out this low. And then while NASDAQ pushed all the way up here, ES did not push above this high at all. So having us at an SMT, we closed the candle above this high. I really should have just taken my profits right here. With this big SMT and this data high, it's like, just get out of the trade. But I didn't. Hindsight 2020, of course, I can always say, yeah, I should have done this, I should have done this. But I was thinking, hey, We have clear data highs above us, this clear drawn liquidity above, and we're creating an SMT from a 30-minute gap, and we have a clean inversion. Like, look, this is a strong close, especially on the 2-minute. On the 1-minute, we even got closure, so it's like everything was looking good. Got break even here. The next trade, though, is terrible. This next trade is just not a good trade. Why? I lost 760. Number one, we're back to this over leveraging. I over leveraged. Usually I want to do 1% risk. I over leveraged because I lost this one. This is pretty simple. Oh, I got break even on this one. It was brutal. I was all the way up in profit. I'm like, okay, I got to make it back. We're still going higher. We're still going higher. But in all honesty, this was just low probability. We had this hourly gap below. We created this 5-minute wick out of it. And this is honestly just, even though we did have a strong close here, this is just more of that pattern trading bullshit I was talking about. So I still wanted to see longs. We have this low resistance up here. So we have all these staggered highs. I saw the stacked highs above. I saw this 1-minute inverse, and I seen that we were in an hourly gap and was just like, yep, we're going to go higher. Even though we really, honestly, in this scenario, lack high time frame reason to go higher. Yes, we just swept out this, but if we're going to be bearish, we're still heading lower right now. We're literally, if we look on the higher time frame, in the middle of just selling off big. We're not chopping around. We're not creating much liquidity. None of that. We literally, on the 1 minute, you can see we come down. We make one inversion on the way up with these two candles, even though this is a strong close. I just got in it on this candle. And the thing that's the worst about this trade too is that I FOMO'd into it. Is that I saw the closure up here and said, I don't know. This is kind of like, I don't know if I want to take this trade, blah, blah, blah. But then when I saw this big candle push all the way down here, I'm like, oh, now that I'm going to get a good fill, now I'm going to get in the trade. We created this big doji. Oh yeah, we're going up now. We're going up. We make this wick. Oh, we're going up. Oh, I was definitely right. I got this. I gambled and made my money back. Weren't. No, it's not how it works. Let's put this here. And the thing is, I didn't have really a big clear target either. You can see on this leg, there's nothing really to target here. Even on the 5-minute, on the 15-minute especially, we do have these like highs up here. If I wanted to retarget these data highs, if we're going to, like, why would we? It's just like, why? Like, we have these highs up here. Yes, I could say, let's go see out data highs again. But after selling off so hard, why would we go back up there? Especially after such a slow sell-off, we sold off hard and then just slowly just kind of chopped down, created this manipulation. But there's not really much here. This is kind of like the bare minimum. Oh, we're in a high time frame gap. Oh, we have this inverse. Oh, we got it, so let me enter. But there's just not a good reason to be in this trade. All right, on to the next one. This one. This is simply just over leverage cope, same bullshit I was just talking about, literally. Pattern trading. This is literally bare minimum trying to make some money. So what do we see going into the morning? Right? I longed. I also over leveraged. Obviously, you can see I lost $1,200 and just blew the rest of the account in one go. Why did I take a long? Who knows, man? Honestly, because look at this. On the 4-hour, we close below this level, and we're just rejecting bearish. We have all of this low resistance over here to the left. So even after we took out this low right here, we still had other lows below us to still take out. On the lower time frame, you can see that we took out this low. We're not in a gap. So there's no excuse for me to really be taking this trade. We took out this liquidity level, right? What did I see? I'm just going to delete this so that it's easier. I can see that we come down, we take out that level of liquidity, we go back up, we resweep this low. So this low gets reswept, and then we have a 30-second inversion right in here. It's kind of hard. You can't see it, but it's on this leg right here that we made on this wick. we made a big push up in 30-second candle and inversed a gap right here. So I entered here, targeting this 5-minute gap. Then my stop was at a 1-to-1 right here. But I guess I got filled bad or something. Maybe my stop was for some reason here. Doesn't really make sense, but usually I do stop at a 1-to-1. But the thing that's like so bad with this trade is like, yes, on the lower time frame, we swept liquidity to the left of us. So if I put this kind of like line of liquidity back in, like right around there, just to guess it, we took out this liquidity, yes. We reswept this lower liquidity, so the structure is decent. We have a 30-second inverse to the top with a 5-minute gap above. Yes, this is like, if I say it just like that, this trade honestly doesn't sound too bad to me. It's valid. But like, zoom out. Where is the higher time frame significance? There is none. Like at its core, we have this hourly low that we just swept out, and we still have other lows below us. Like, look at all this low resistance liquidity here. It's literally like a staircase down. There's not really much reason for us to react up off of this random low that's in the middle of all of these staggered lows. Like, we already took out this one. We took out this low, and now all of a sudden we're going to just react up, even though we have all of these. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And even though I could say, yes, the lower time or the higher time frame is bearish, but I just wanted to see it out to this 5-minute gap. But why? Like, it's one thing to know where price is going to go, but the other thing is to know when it's going to go there. Just because we have a 30-second inversion here and we have a 5-minute gap above doesn't give you the authority to just long whenever you want just because you think it's going to go there. You have to like have a reason, you know what I mean? Like, and it's like one of those ones where you get in the trade and you immediately get stopped out and you're just like, damn, like, what am I doing? Why am I taking this trade? Why am I in here with 20 contracts where I just blew like both my accounts that I've been working hard on these past weeks? Like, look, 2.4K, I'm going back and forth last week, and then this week, I'm just going to all throw it away just because this one break even set me off? Like, that's crazy. Like, now hindsight, when I look at it, I'm like, wow, like, you are just an emotional, like, trader, bro. Like, you need to lock the fuck in. This one break even is what set you off. You lost $50 on a trade, and then that sent you to spiral to over leverage on this next trade without a real narrative, and then do the same thing the next day, but risk even more. What? Right? But Thursday I didn't take a trade. Friday I did take a trade. I just took a nice clean one. Since those accounts got blown, this is on a Apex account. Going into the day, let me see if I can just turn on sessions. Just so I can mark out these London lows. Asia lows. If you guys want to see any of these like exact trade recaps, or you want to see like more about what I was thinking when I took these trades, I do have the daily recaps up on the channel. I will link the playlist up here. But to get into this one I could have been a little more patient on to wait. To be completely honest, I maybe should have waited for one of these retraces to enter, but I did enter early on this one and got out early and took my profits. But what did I see? On the higher time frame over here to the left of us on the 30-minute, we are inside of this big ass 30-minute gap. So it's a big bearish 30-minute gap. I'm not going to keep that on there so that we can actually see. But on the 1 minute, we also had an SMT with one of these highs to the left over here. I need to mark out these trades. This goes back to my journaling thing. I want to make sure that like I'm completely accurate when I'm representing this. But anyways, we're inside a high time frame hourly gap. NASDAQ has London lows here, Asia lows below down here. On the 30-second, we inverse this gap with this SMT. That's enough for me to enter. Why? Because the main thing, which I don't have on here, but I could probably go to since I have TradingView open. At the time, ES had taken out these Asia lows right here. So we are already creating an SMT at these lows and SMTs at the highs. But ES had put in this 1 hour gap. Here, let me turn this back off. You can see that ES had a 1 hour gap right here. and equal lows. So it swept out Asia, which was at these lows, swept it out, created equal lows at an hourly gap, while pushing up and manipulating these highs again, while also inside of a higher time frame gap. Let's see, perfect. So you can also see here on ES. Oh, this is the wrong leg. You can see over here, there we go, over here on ES that we're respecting this gap. So NASDAQ is in the higher time frame gap, big 30-minute. ES is pushing up into a 30-minute after creating an equal lows at an hourly gap over here while manipulating these highs. So after seeing that 30-second, I was like ready to get in. Why did I sell off here? It's just pretty much because I'm a bitch. No cap. We'll put this here. I really just wanted my profits this day. We were also, for a short amount of time, SMTing this low here. So for a short time, we are SMTing my break-even point. This is break-even. So I did take half of my contracts off at a 1-to-1. And then we also just started hesitating a little down here with these wicks. And I just wanted to be out of the trade. I was feeling nervous. So I just reset my TP once we rebroke that low. Once we took it out, I took my profits for the 800. Had I held it longer, I would have been way more in profit, but I really just don't feel like talking about what ifs, this and that, because really if I want to talk about what ifs, I could have said, yeah, what if I just held all the way down to Asia lows down here and hit a 1 to 6 R banger? Or what if I held down all the way down here to these previous day or previous PM session lows all the way down at the leg? Like, you could always say, what if I caught 1,000,000 points? But I want to just stick to consistency. Hey, I got my TP here. I got my stop loss here. I got my break even here. I'm risking 1% every day. I want as little variables as possible now, because my strategy and my edge is getting to a point where I need to keep it as consistent. If I keep adding more variables or keeping more things to think about, it's going to skew my edge one way. So I just want to be consistent and profitable. So those are my goals going into next week. I'm going to risk 1%, so $500 a trade, 1 trade a day. I'm going to journal every day, in depth. I need to focus on and outline a system for that today or tomorrow. But that's one thing I want to do, is like have an in-depth journal. I was feeling these emotions. This is how I was feeling. How well did I actually follow my strategy? How well did I actually follow and execute on the thing I wanted to do today? Something like that, where I can actually go into my thought process and see why I made the mistake I did. Yes, I know I made a mistake. Yes, I know I took a trade I should never take again. But why? That's what I want to eliminate. But thank you guys for watching. If you like the video, give it a like. If you dislike the video, give it a dislike. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow, since I'll be back on the charts. If I trade, I'll post a video. If I don't, I guess I probably won't. If I don't trade, I won't post a video. I'll probably just post something on my TikTok or my Instagram. You can follow my socials right here. You see them. And my name's the same on everything. So I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great day.